we're back. You guys have decided to now, with the bodies buried, head off to the Northwest District to meet the Dran Enterprises liaison with Rolf at the Lazy Donkey Tavern.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. So basically, you guys who live here, especially you guys who have lived in that district, know how to get there. And Rolf can also tell you where the tavern is if no one knows. It's kind of a quick jaunt down the nicely manicured streets between the opulent buildings to get to the kind of checkpoint in between the two districts. Do you guys make any attempt to disguise Rolf as you go through the gate? It looks like there's a big double gate. There's a couple of guards on either side. They look fairly disinterested. You get the impression that they don't really care so much about people going into this district as people leaving it. Going into the Northwest District, into the slums, as people leaving the slums.
We at least make sure Rolf's hood is up, and he's concealing his face, and just everybody doesn't see that there's a big old zombie walking through the streets.
And he's in the center of our group. We've positioned him so
okay, just like all around him.
Yeah.
Sprinkled some potpourri on him so it doesn't smell so bad.
Actually, I will touch his hood, take some pink thread, and quickly sew it in, and it will give off a perfume.
Oh, nice.
What
Why
are all
do
these,
that with our outfits?
What are these things you keep doing? I don't know.
This is magical tinkering.
Oh, cool.
So I can imbue a tiny magical object with a magical property of my choice, 5-foot radius of light, a recorded message, an odor, or a sound, a visual effect, or text. So
cool. All right. Yeah. So he just smells good now. You guys approach the gate. They don't seem to give you any trouble. They're just kind of lazily leaning on their halberds. It looks like, with it getting towards evening, they're probably just ready to go. As you pass by, one of the guards goes, "Oh, one of you smells good." It's just like being creepy watching you walk through the gate.
Thank you.
It's like, "Hey, what you doing later?"
Well,
Aizen, move along.
So I'll play hard to get. That's fine.
I
You gotta
try.
come through here eventually.
I'll just wink. And then leave.
Yeah, he winks back.
Flamboyant elf.
And then the transition between this district and the Northwest
I got the
District.
wrong message about me.
The transition between the two districts is abrupt and almost startling. You go from these beautifully manicured streets with these opulent buildings to something that looks more like, Hooverville, if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, throwing it back. It's basically like lots of poorly maintained buildings, lots of ramshackle kind of stalls and tents along the streets. You see many, many more people than you saw in the noble district, as it were. A lot of them look like they're just trying to go about their lives, people trying to sell things, people trying to get from one place to another. You also see lots of people on the corner begging for money. You see people kind of leaned against walls and alleyways, eyeing you as you walk by. It's packed and busy and loud, and everything looks like it's total chaos compared, especially to the place where you just came from.
Feels like home.
Yeah.
All right, I will be a little uncomfortable, kind of glancing. I constantly am like touching my pockets, making sure.
You lock the doors on your yak.
As I pass them by a building, I'm like, hey, there's my house.
Yeah.
But I will also, while we're walking, I'd like to look for some sort of box or crate about the size of the artifact that we're supposed to be delivering, so that we can just take that with us, as if we're giving them the artifact.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that's something you had talked about doing beforehand.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you want to, you can say you already have that.
We had a crate that looks appropriate and is filled.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that one of the other times we recorded, so you can say you already have it.
Yeah, we have a fake box.
Okay.
I'll explain Flaxtop. Don't look in people's eyes.
It's like, just act natural.
Should we
Don't
put
ball
some?
up your fists and keep your hands in your pockets.
Should we put some stones or anything in the box to give some weight?
Yeah, it's approximately the right weight.
It's Indiana Jones type situation. So you guys continue on. Rolf will point you towards the tavern. You kind of take a few of the larger thoroughfares. You pass through a square that has an old fountain in it that's got a woman holding a pitcher, but her head is broken off and missing, and the pitcher's just kind of trickling water into the basin.
I thought this was a real person.
Oh, no, the statue. The statue's head is missing. You go through the square, and then you start turning down a couple of smaller side streets until you get to a building that is, let's say, quaint.
This is very quaint.
It's a small single-story wooden building. The siding is cracked and chipped and peeling, so it reveals like various coats of different colored paint underneath it. And you can see above the doorway there is a sign dangling kind of catty-cornered from one ring off of the signpost. And the sign has depicted on it what looks like an overladen fat donkey with like goods piled up on the back of it, sitting on the ground with a man behind him, just kind of like with a crop in the air, looking angry.
I think this is the place.
Yeah.
This might be the place.
Yeah. Rolf points and says, "Oh yeah, that's it."
So, Rolf, where was the rendezvous?
So inside, they said they would know me when they saw me.
All right.
I don't actually know who I'm meeting.
So,
All right.
Aizen and I will join you inside. We're dressed like your companions. We'll keep our hoods up and...
But you're much smaller than the other companions.
That's true.
I must point that out.
and I will stay outside.
That'd be best. I'll go inside and I'll let Rolf do the talking. As much as it pains me, I'll let Rolf do all the talking.
So when you headed out, you wanted to arrive close to 8, or would you say you're early?
I want early. Early sound good with everybody?
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll say it's close to 7. All of you stay outside, except for Aizen, who goes in with Rolf and the box.
We could just do the Find Familiar and have them be the eyes and ears.
Well, do you have a way to go in?
Find Familiar, if you haven't cast it already, takes an hour.
Oh.
So
Oops.
But you said it was 7.
Yes, you said it was
7 o'clock.
that's true. You have an hour, technically.
So, Find Familiar?
I'm inside
Yes.
already.
All right.
Yeah, but we could come in and be like, hey, you don't need to actually be here.
It's okay. So the components for the spell:
Wait, there's no component.
10 gold pieces worth of charcoal, incense, and herbs that must be consumed by a fire in a brass brazier.
Okay, we gotta go shopping.
I don't know if we have time to collect all those ingredients, though.
So, we're going into the Lazy Donkey, right? They're not going to know us, so we can just retcon
would-
from the sides and just listen in. Or,
I'm in the lazy donkey at this point.
I mean,
Okay.
who's going to come up and bother us?
You
with
guys are
secrets?
outside just talking about
Yeah,
this.
we're figuring out our game plan.
Okay. Aizen, you in with Rolf, and the inside is in a similar state to the outside. There are lots of mismatched tables and chairs and stools just everywhere, kind of haphazardly. Nothing matches, nothing is in really a fine state of repair. At this time of night, it's fairly busy, actually. There's lots of patrons either drinking or eating or, listening to a fiddle-playing halfling over by the single fireplace. There's kind of torches on sconces lit. There's candles on tables. It's your very typical kind of medieval tavern. So when you come in, nobody really even seems to notice.
Okay. Then can I'm gonna lean into Rolf and be like, "Do you see him anywhere?"
So I already said I don't know who I'm meeting. Were you listening?
I thought you just said outside you knew who you were meeting.
No, I said no. They said they would know me.
They would know you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I figure, let's just sit down, have a wait.
All right. Well, let's move over to this table in the corner. Is there any empty tables?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, you find an empty table, sit down. You notice that there's not really a lot of wait staff. There's a couple of girls, kind of stereotypically dressed kind of provocatively to draw in business, kind of half-heartedly flirting with patrons, trying to get tips, trying to get them more drinks. So you're not really waited on immediately. You do notice there is a long bar at the back, and behind it, there looks like a halfling man standing behind the bar, presumably on some kind of riser to be able to be behind it. So you just sit down to wait.
All right.
Do you order anything, or are you just kind of chilling out?
Yeah, I would order a beer.
Okay. Eventually, one of the waitresses will come over.
Fit in.
Yeah, you order a beer, and you have presumably an hour to wait. So as you're sitting there, what do the rest of you guys do? You're just kind of standing outside awkwardly.
I'm just, again, I'm standing out there very awkwardly.
Is there
I feel very out of place.
Is there a bench? We could sit on a bench. Make this like Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, sure. There's kind of a wooden bench outside the tavern. There is a man laying on it, passed out, with a hood covering his face, just asleep, snoring loudly on the bench.
Give him a good shove.
I'm gonna go into the bar. I'm not gonna stay. I'm just gonna order something to eat because we left out.
Yeah, cheese fries. How about some cheese fries?
Yeah. So you go up to the bar. The halfling man says, "Hey, what gonna get you?"
I'll say, "Hey, brother," and I'll look at him and I'll say, "What do you got?" And I'll try to scan around to see if he's got anything
Like a menu?
fresh, like a.
He's like, "Yeah, we got beer. Nothing fancy.
Food?
Yeah. You want some, fried potatoes? We
Yes.
got yes.
Yes.
He yells at the back. He's like, "Fried potatoes!
How much will that be?
2 copper."
All right.
Yeah.
I'll shell out 2 copper and put it down.
Copper and a half.
So, okay, the rest of you guys outside. Pip's happy to go in and eat some potatoes and drink.
Lilith, do you want to go inside?
Sure. It's better than kicking a homeless dude off his bench.
He's not homeless, he's just sleeping.
Yeah, you just be taking a nap. So you guys go in. What do you do?
Yes.
Yes.
We're walking
Food.
together.
All right.
Wink really big at Aizen. I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna not look at Pip or Aizen.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at Pip and I'll be like, "Is he into me?"
First the
Man, I am on today. I'm on fire.
Maybe I should look like a hobo more often.
Yeah, so you guys can also order food. The bartender's like, "Well, what you want? I got all day.
Food. Food.
Just food." All right. He yells at the back, "Food!" You?
What's your food?
2 foods. After a minute, a couple of plates come out. They just have it looks like rice and gravy and some chunks of indiscriminate meat and hunks of these kind of half stale bread.
Perfect.
And he gives you 2 kind of tankards of this just fizzy, pale blonde
Other
ale.
than the bread, that sounds delicious.
Now I want rice and
with
gravy
chunks
and
of
beef.
unidentified meat.
You start eating it. It tastes just fine. You have no idea what the meat is.
Since the liaison
more like
doesn't
Taco Bell.
know us, I'm gonna go sit at the booth directly behind them.
Okay.
Just to just to be.
Just like that spy thing.
Yeah, I have my
Yeah.
ears perked up to listen to anything.
I'm going to go try to sit in a corner so I get a view of the room. Primarily because I don't like being in the
Like cornering yourself, watching everything.
Sitting facing the corner.
No, but also it also will give me a good vantage point of the room.
Cool. After a while,
I'll be in the middle of
So
the
you
room.
got eyes, I got ears,
Reading.
and he's reading. I'm sorry, she's reading.
Yes.
Aizen, you notice Rolf is eating something, but he never ordered anything.
Rolf?
Oh, yeah. He like puts his hand quickly in his pocket. So, what?
Bring it back out, Rolf.
It's like, no, it's nothing.
Bring it back out, Rolf.
He brings it back out of his pocket, and it's just like a hunk of meat that he got off of clearly one of those people.
One
One of his dead friends.
So what are you ordering to eat?
It's like I was hungry. I know you said not to, but I mean, there was so much of it, and it smells so good.
It's fine, Rolf.
You should order him a baked potato.
Just continue eating.
All right, and he just pops the rest of it in his mouth, and it just kind of like these juices just come out of his mouth, and he's chewing on it. He wipes it off.
Rolf, we're going to get you plenty of help when we're done with this, okay?
Oh, that would be great.
All right.
So after a while,
His help will be that of the paladin.
Rolf, do you remember the plan? Yeah.
yeah. I was supposed to act like the thing's in the box, and he pats the box, and he's like, and then we go. I forgot.
I would have laughed if he said, "Wait, where's the box? Where's the box?"
Rolf, we're here to make a trade-off so he can give you the money and possibly more information if we can get it. That's
yeah, it makes sense.
not really necessary. We're just here for the money.
Okay.
Once the trade is made, we're going to leave. Okay?
Okay, yeah. I got it.
Understand?
I got it now, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to trust you.
You're in good hands. And he holds out his
don't-
hands. And you see, like,
They're
parts of
covered
the...
in blood.
Yeah, there's, like, blood on them. Parts of his palm are coming off. You can see his bones poking through.
Well, sponsored by Allstate. We're in good hands.
You're in good hands with
Just
Rolf.
hearing all of this.
Yeah. So after a while, then, an old, just haggard-looking, white-haired, wrinkled, pockmarked, crook-backed, shambling old woman approaches you near your table.
That's way too much description.
Yeah, she is like positively looks ancient and just hideous. And she says, "Is that for me?" And she kind of winks at you. She's pointing at the box, by the way. She's not pointing at you. She's pointing at the box.
She's clearly into you.
A nod.
So, all right, then. Can I take a peek at it? So, well, that's too bad, then. And she turns around and starts walking away.
Rolf, get her.
So what do you want me to do?
Just get her attention again and get her to come back and make the trade-off.
Hi, pretty lady, where you going? And she turns around and says, "What? Me?"
I gesture. We come back.
She's like, "Oh, you changed your mind?"
I nod, yes.
All right, open it up then.
I nod. I shake my head again.
She says, "Oh, I know where this is going. Look."
I say deeply in a deep voice to try to mask my voice. Mm-hmm. The box is too dangerous. The artifact's too dangerous.
Make a deception check.
I have to clear my space out.
Can I tap in Morse code?
10.
She says, "Oh yeah, I heard it was something nasty. That's why he wants it.
That's why.
Look, I know where this is going. I'm good for the money. She kind of reaches into her robes and moves her hand up and down, and you hear a jingling sound. She says, you don't have to worry about that.
Let's see the money first.
She kind of shambles over and sits next to you, and then she pulls out a rough spun brown kind of bag with a drawstring and sets it down on your lap with a jingle.
Like, how am I positioned in the booth? Am I positioned between her and Rolf?
No, she is right next to you.
She is right next to me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I have no way to get out of the booth
Nope.
at this point.
I'm actually going to see. We're both military background. Mm-hmm. We both should know some kind of signal.
Okay.
I will signal out in some way. Maybe we shouldn't do it in here. Maybe we should do it outside, as in the interaction to maybe get her to go outside, away from everybody.
But I think the idea of a tavern
That would be an
brawl.
interpretation.
I didn't hear any of that.
I'll say you would make. We're gonna say you make a survival check.
A survival check.
Yeah, to see if you can get the right
Sleight of
message
hand?
across.
Sleight of hand. Stick my hand through it. 13?
So then, Aizen, you hear the message, and you think you're immediately taken back to your kind of military training, and Pip has sent you the message. It's like cut and run. Basically, it's the kind of message he sent you.
I remember. I don't like being enclosed in tight spaces, so if you could give me some room.
It's like, oh, there's something wrong with your voice. Are you okay?
I've got a bit of a.
You want a lozenge?
No, I'm fine.
Did your parents die in an alley? Are you? Sorry, dumb Batman joke.
Yes. Dad. Oh, Dad.
Oh no, I forgot. He actually did die. Anyway, dumb Batman joke. So she's like, yeah, what, you want to go outside then?
Yeah, can we move
So
this?
I bring the thing. So you first. She gets out and then she kind of.
Is there a back door? Or do you have to go exclusively out the front?
It looks like there is probably a whole kitchen and stuff behind the bar, but not accessible by the public.
I want to, as I get out of the chair, I'm going to kind of like nudge the booth next to me a little bit to kind of give Pip an idea that, hey, we're moving out.
I'll pick up my potatoes and I'll start heading over towards the bar because the bar's inside of the front door just so I can still listen. And I'll look at Lilith. I don't know if she's busy. And I'll look at
Yeah.
Hawthorne.
I will definitely pay attention. I'm ready to get out of here.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. This food's kind of good.
When,
Whatever it is.
When you guys all stand, like when they stand up, and then she notices suddenly other people starting to move around the room, she kind of squints strangely at Aizen, and then she says, "Oh, you know what? I gotta hit the loo. Hold on." And she starts walking off.
And why don't we complete our deal before?
Oh, no, I'm an old lady. You know, I gotta go now. And
No.
she starts walking off. And she starts, like, moving into the crowd and trying to, like, get out of view of you very quickly.
I'm going to follow her very quickly.
Is she still in the
Start
building?
moving
Let's
through
all-
the crowd.
Let's all roll initiative.
Is she still in the building?
Man.
All right.
Yes, she's still in the building. So everybody roll initiative. Just to keep track of where everyone is here, because this is... Oh, are you kidding me?
She's an old lady.
Yeah.
Catch her to her very quickly.
So, initiative. What you got, Aizen?
15.
15. Hawthorne?
19.
19. Pip?
18.
18. Lilith?
21.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
Yep. So, I rolled a nat 1 on my initiative. So Lilith, you see this happening, and you kind of have an eye on this old lady,
somehow.
What do you decide to do?
Very perceptive for someone with noses in a book.
Throw your book at her.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not paying attention, we'll just skip your turn.
I have a little bit of an idea of something to do, but
What should I do? Do I have fireball?
Oh boy.
Okay.
Breaking news tonight. A fire ravages Northwest District of Akkadia. I'm here on the scene.
I saw it. I saw it.
I was debating maybe I should use another phantasmal force. Summon another demon.
Well,
I don't know. I'm going to hold my turn.
okay.
Yeah,
So,
someone else decide.
so Hawthorne, what do you do?
I'm gonna break for the door.
Okay, so you just start running?
Well, no, I mean, she's not running yet.
No, she's not running yet.
I will go to the door with haste, but not.
Yeah, it's not a very big tavern. You could probably get there. You're in the corner. We'll say weaving around people. It would probably take 2 movements.
That's
like
fine.
to get over there.
Plant myself in the doorway.
Are you trying to move stealthily, or you're just?
I mean, like I want to get out of here.
Okay. Well, then make a stealth check for me if you're not like overtly.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it.
I was about to say, you are a halfling. You should be able to move
true.
through thick
I'm
crowds
halfling, but-
quite
Yeah.
easily.
We'll say no.
I'm not. I'm not going to do anything else.
Because she's on alert, so you don't have advantage. But
That's going to be an 11.
okay. Yeah, you see she very obviously notices you.
Okay.
But you can get over to the door and stand in front of it. Pip.
Halfling in the doorway.
I'm worried that she's gonna yell at us.
Yeah, she's kind of in the middle of the room now, like in between a couple of tables where there's some drunk guys laughing and playing dice and eating, and another table where there's people just like quietly sitting and talking. And there's a waitress coming by, and she's just kind of looking around anxiously, trying to figure out what to do.
Oh, okay. So their vibe in the room is changing a little bit.
No, all the people don't seem to notice at all. She's like this person you met is just anxious and trying to figure out what to do.
All right. So she's heading out. Well, I had an idea, but it was a bad idea.
Yeah, she now sees that Hawthorne is kind of in front of the door. She sees that Hawthorne's in front of the door, so now she's
Everybody
looking
start
for
fighting.
other
That's-
I'll let
options,
other people do my
basically.
fighting. I'll probably charm 1 or 2 of them.
As a distraction, I don't want to scare her, but I'll walk up and I'll pull out a piece of parchment that's totally empty because I gave all my parchment to Rolf. I have like 1 piece left, and it's empty, so I'm just holding it towards me. I'll walk up to her and I'll say, do you know which way I can get to a grocery store near here? I don't know. I'll have my potatoes and I'll hold up my potatoes, see if she wants one.
Make a deception check for me.
Natural 20.
Yes!
You approach her, and then she
gives
sees
the
you,
best directions.
and she's just like, she swats your hand, like the paper away in your hand. She's like, not now.
Shoot. I'll say, please, it'll only take a second.
She says, "What? I don't know. Just go out and yell about groceries. I'm busy, kid."
How about we walk outside and you point me in the direction?
She says, "Tell you what, you get me past that dude in front of the door. I'll do you anything you want."
All right. I'll walk up. I'll walk up to Hawthorne. I'll say, "Excuse me, are you messing with this lady?"
What? You want to start something?
I'll go, "Yeah," and I'll wink at you, and I'll walk up and I'll just shove you. That's perfect.
You should have done it more interesting.
No, I take that back. I'll throw my potatoes in your face.
Okay.
Hope everyone's a good actor.
Yeah, so, Hawthorne, you can't really do anything on this turn, but you see the old lady kind of laughing when that happens. And that's basically your whole turn, Pip. Aizen, what do you do?
Do I get more time to catch up with her since you get stopped with him?
Yeah, she's just in the middle of the room right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna catch up with her, and I'm like, man, we just want to make the deal go as smooth as possible.
She says,
It doesn't need to go any harder. Hand on sword.
Yeah, she's looking around. She says, "Yeah, I tell you what. We go around the corner here, and I'll give you the gold, and we'll finish this up nice and neat. All right?"
All right.
I wanted to use Mage Hand to throw some food at somebody.
That's all it has to be.
Okay. So it's her turn. She's going to start walking towards the door. And then you see her kind of reach in her robes and pull something out and drink it, and then she disappears. And then you hear, well, I don't know what you hear. Make a perception check. Anybody, everybody, if you're paying attention.
Nat 20.
Oh boy, one person.
Hey. 23.
So.
As I wipe potato from my face, I rolled a nat 1.
Oh, all right.
I just got a 5.
5. Okay. So Lilith and Aizen, you both hear over the din of the chaos somehow. You hear like pounding footsteps heading towards the bar, and then as you're looking that way, you see the bartender is like sliding a tankard down the bar, and then it gets knocked off suddenly, and it all spills out behind the bar, and then you see the door swing open behind the bar. So Lilith,
Yeah.
so you held your action. So if you want to go, you need to go now.
Yes, okay. I'm just gonna charm person. Why not?
Okay. Well, she will have advantage on her saving throw since you're technically in combat, we'll say. She's on high alert mentally. So it's is it wisdom or charisma? Which is, I don't remember.
It will be charisma.
So that's a 14, and that's a 19.
It beats.
Okay. So your spell fails.
Movement, I guess I'll, who wants me to jump the bar?
Okay.
I'm gonna jump over the bar
Okay.
to block the view, but, make it look like, oh, bartender, let me help clean that up for you.
You're gonna jump onto the.
I'm gonna hop the bar, grab a rag, and stand in front of her while cleaning. Try to slow her down.
Well, you don't see her.
Well, I know she walked through the.
Well,
But she
you
left
saw
the
the door open behind the bar, so presumably she went through the door. It's like one of those swinging doors, so she probably just barreled through it. Which you could also do if you want to. You have the double movement speed from your magic horseshoes.
I forgot about those. Yeah, sure, I'll do that. I'll chase after her.
Make a perception check for me.
12.
So you run, jump over the bar. You hear the bartender say, "Hey, what you doing?" And then you barrel through the door and come screeching to a halt to look around to see where this person might be, and you have no idea. You see a small kitchen that has, very basic kind of implements. There's a big cauldron over a fire. There's a stock pot. There's somebody chopping up what looks like a skinned rat. There's, bottles and pans and things, and you do see there's a rear exit to the kitchen, but you don't see this person anywhere.
Okay, can I make a break for the exit?
Well, that's basically going to be your whole turn.
Okay.
So, Hawthorne, we're back to you.
Okay. I'm going to try to step outside and go see if I can make my way to the back entrance from outside.
Okay, cool.
So I'll go my full movement to try.
So what, 50 feet then?
No. So just my first 30 feet.
Yeah, so
Can I get a view of the door?
that would basically take you around the corner of the building. You see like kind of a narrow alleyway that's just damp, and there's like trash and dirt all in it, and you see that it comes to like kind of a T-junction where it goes around behind the building, but you don't see an entrance on this, or an exit on this corner.
Okay. I'm going to from this vantage point pull out a wand from my bag, and it's my wand of web.
Okay.
And cast it straight at that T-junction.
Okay.
Yeah.
So web, do you know what that does by any chance?
It makes Spider-Man appear.
So there's a mass of web.
Okay.
that fills a 20-foot cube.
Cool. Yeah, you can fill like that whole intersection.
Yep.
You do know how to shot webs. And it fills up the whole intersection with this just sticky, magical web.
Sticky.
So, yeah, that's basically your turn. Pip.
I'll run up to the bartender really fast. I know he just dropped that keg or tankard of it. Mm-hmm. I'll say, I need 2 beers pronto. I have a plan. I'm not drinking.
He says, oh, well, you got the money.
I'll just slap down like a random amount of coins.
Okay. It's 4 silver pieces. Yeah, you slap down 4 silver pieces. He says, oh, yeah. And he just like quickly grabs up 2 mugs and like tankards in one hand and like slams down 2 different, taps with the other arm and fills them both up and hands them to you.
I'll take them and I'll run outside around the bend to go out into the alley.
Okay, so basically that would, because you have to move up to the bar and then move out, so you could get around like to the corner where Hawthorne is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can see where he has filled the intersection with web. Aizen.
I'm gonna run to the last place I saw her. She booked it out of the doors, and then
So you also hop over the bar?
yeah,
Yeah.
just hop over the bar. But then as soon as I hop over the bar, I'm gonna misty step
Oh, okay.
to the exit.
Okay, so you're now standing in front of the exit.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oi, how'd you get in front of me?
Wait, where's Rolf?
Yeah, Rolf is just chilling out. I didn't roll initiative for him. I didn't know what he might do. Let's do that now.
Did she leave the gold at the table?
I think she had.
No, she took it with
Okay.
her.
Okay.
Should we follow the sounds of the jingle?
So, yeah, that's Rolf. So you guys aren't paying attention to Rolf, so I don't even bother describing what he does. Aizen, what is your let's see, your passive perception is pretty high, 15. Okay. Ooh. Let's see, 24 hits you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're gonna take 21 bludgeoning damage.
What?
Did she just skillet you in the head?
Yeah, you're just standing there, like, looking around. You don't see or hear anything, and then all of a sudden, you feel this just, like, resounding thud on the side of your head, and you know, stars kind of swimming in front of your eyes as you are bludgeoned with something incredibly hard and heavy, but you have no idea what it is. And then when you come to, you see in front of you not an old wizened crone, but what looks like a kind of beefy orc man. He's wearing the same clothes that the old lady was, actually, and it looks like, from the way his hands are positioned together, he just hammered you on the side of the head.
Just barehanded?
Yeah, just barehanded, slammed
Why
you on
do
the
I
side
always
of the
get
head.
the punchy guys?
Yeah. And then he is going to...
Wink at you.
Yeah. Attempt to barrel through you. So make a strength athletics check for
Or
me.
you can dodge and let him run out the door.
Oh, come on. It was on 19 and then it rolled again.
It doesn't matter. What'd you get?
A
I
1.
also rolled a 1. What is your strength mod?
+6.
Yeah, he attempts to push into you, and despite his size, doesn't seem to.
We're just
be able
both fumbling around.
Yeah, he doesn't
trying
seem to be able
get
to
a
knock
good
you
hold on
aside.
each other.
Yeah, it's like the most awkward wrestling match ever.
Oh, boy.
And you hear him say, "Oh, move out of the way!"
You move out of the way.
He says, "Look, I know you're not who I'm supposed to meet, and I'll kill you if I have to."
You're darn right I'm not.
So then we're back to Lilith.
Okay, so he's not invisible, right?
No, it's no longer invisible, and it's no longer an old woman. Looks like a big orc man.
Well, that's the guy, right? Possibly?
As far as you can tell, they're wearing the same clothes that are kind of like, stretched tight over his beefy frame.
Okay.
But
Well, Phantasmal Force was fun last time. Why not this time?
Okay, so what kind of illusion do you create this time?
How big is this room?
It's maybe 20 by 20.
20 by 20?
Yeah. And you can see now that this fighting has kind of broken out by the back door. The cooks and people are like scattering and moving away from the fighting.
You know, let's go big. A young white dragon.
Oh boy. So everybody just sees this young white dragon appear in the kitchen. And until someone takes an action to examine it, it appears to be a real dragon. Okay.
And it does do damage because
Yes.
we perceive it to be real. So it's 1d6, I think.
So then are you having the dragon kind of attack this person?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to make it look like it's just gripping it with its mouth and holding it down.
Okay, so roll a d6.
That's 6.
All right, so this person takes 6 damage.
Person,
Yeah.
quote unquote.
Orcs are people.
Yeah, and he says, yeah, orcs are people too. He says, oh, what the hell?
Think I was alone?
Yeah. So Hawthorne, we're back up top to you.
Oh, okay. I'll make my way down to the web
Okay.
that I created. Can I don't want to get in the web.
Yeah.
But can I peek around the corner?
Yeah, you can look around the corner and you see this is behind the building where the exit must be. You can kind of see what looks like Aizen's back in the doorway. And you see what looks like some cold, like frosty fog kind of billowing out under his legs. And you hear the orc man yell, oh, what the hell?
Oh, okay.
So you know your friends are in there, definitely.
Yes, wherever there's cold.
Wherever there's something weird.
Yeah, wherever someone is
weird
confused.
Lilith is there.
Not okay. So I will release the concentration on the web
Oh, okay.
since it looks like it's not helpful,
Okay, cool. So it dissipates.
and I'll run over behind Aizen.
Yeah. And now you see him kind of awkwardly fumbling with this orc man wearing the same clothes that old lady was wearing.
What are the chances we both roll a 1?
I know, that was bizarre.
I'll just back up.
You're like, oh, what?
Yeah, excuse me. Okay. And I'll pull out my crossbow and can I just ready a shot
Yeah, so like if
the orc gets past Aizen.
okay, yeah, cool. Pip.
Wow.
So you see Hawthorne run back there and the webs disappear. So you follow?
I follow.
Okay. Yeah, you follow around, and then you see Hawthorne leveling his crossbow at the doorway, waiting, and then you see, again, Aizen wrestling with this orc person in an old lady's rags.
My first idea was if they were invisible, if I splashed beer on them, I could see where they were. Mm-hmm. But since that's not happening, I will rear back and throw both of my glasses of beer.
Okay.
15.
That hits.
All right.
So we'll call it a D4
All right.
So
as
it's
an
gonna be
improvised
2 of
weapon.
them since he's
Yeah,
throwing
it'll be a
both.
D4 plus your strength mod
Okay.
and damage.
4.
Wow, okay. Yeah, you see this tankard it's like an earthenware tankard, and when it hits the orc's head, it shatters, and you see a little bit of blood trickle, and he's just covered in beer. So the second one, what is your attack roll on the second one?
It is. Oh, I don't hit.
What'd you get?
I got a 7.
A 7. Roll damage.
Okay. 3.
Aizen, you take 3 bludgeoning damage. As an earthenware tankard slams into the back of your head, and you are now covered in beer.
Watch your heads!
That was
At this
going with
point,
your
I'm
bad
like
hand.
bleeding from my
It hit the
head.
back of your head.
Oh,
So,
I got blood.
Oh, it's okay, Pip. You got one of them.
yeah.
That was thrown with his not so good hand.
I'll pick a piece of potato out of your hair.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a long reach.
No, out of Hawthorne's hair. He threw the potatoes at Hawthorne. Aizen, we're back to you.
All right, I'm going to punch him in the face.
Cool. Make a punch check.
Punch check.
Punch check!
One punch.
22.
Oh boy, yeah, that hits. So punch just deals 1 plus your strength mod and damage since you don't have unarmed combat training like a monk or anything.
So it's just gonna be 4.
Okay, yeah.
And then I'm gonna try to punch him again.
Do it. Fist fight, fist fight.
Oh.
Well, it's too late to have a fist fight. I got a dragon involved. The dragon will punch him.
13.
To hit?
Yeah.
That one misses.
Oh.
Yeah, you see
Well,
him.
swing and a miss.
Yeah, like he's not wearing any armor or anything, but he just kind of lithely dodges out of the way.
Okay.
So is that your turn then? You're gonna move or do anything else? You have like movement or a bonus action.
Can I cast Sanctuary as a bonus action?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, he'll have to make a Wisdom saving throw to be able to hit you.
Yeah.
Cool. Rolf is gonna go. You have no idea what he's doing, and then this person. I keep wanting to say what it is, and I keep almost slipping up and saying, this person is going to look around and see that. Let's see. He's going to inspect this dragon because he's still freaked out, getting punched, and now there's a dragon. He's like, "How the fucking dragon get in here?" And then he's going to. That's an action. So he's just gonna run for the other door. When he does so, he provokes an opportunity attack from you, Aizen.
I'm gonna try to trip him. Oh, come on. 13 again.
Yeah, you reach out your foot to try to kick his shin, and you miss.
Do I get a second attack with an extra attack?
No, you only get one attack for an opportunity attack.
Dang.
And he runs for the door.
Oh, then he'd have to pass me, right?
Are you standing in front of the door?
Yes.
Okay,
Remember, I
well
never
then
moved.
he's going to try to just, like, shove his way past you.
Okay.
So make a strength athletics check.
Strength athletics, I got a 15.
You gotta stop rolling that die, Peter.
He was not expecting you to be there. He had been focused, like he saw the dragon. He was focused on Aizen. Didn't really see you, and just kind of runs face first into you and just like slaps off of you, like comically.
This is a small girl.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of odd when he slams into you. It feels like something that big, that much mass and apparent strength should have pushed you more, but it felt like it wasn't that solid.
I'm going to just make a statement. Guess you're too distracted about the dragon.
It says, all right, I'm surrounded. There's a dragon. That's it. I give up.
You give up?
He just
Official?
holds his hands up. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to make the dragon disappear.
He says, oh, shit. So we'll drop out of initiative there.
Okay.
And we'll take another break because that was fun. And we'll be right back.
Party time.
Thanks everybody for listening. It's super great. We appreciate anybody listening, subscribing, liking, leaving ratings or reviews. Anything's appreciated. Tell your friends if you like it. We're having fun. We hope you're having fun too. If you really want, we have a new link tree that can link you to all of where you can find our podcasts or social media. It's linktr.ee/charismacheck. And there you can find all of our social media and everything. Check us out on Patreon. If you really like what we do and want us to see us do more great stuff, consider supporting us on Patreon. We'll be offering up some nice Patreon exclusive rewards here soon. It'll include like the setup episode for this campaign, maybe me getting recorded rapping when I wasn't noticing.
Maybe we can make some things for you guys out there.
But anyway, thanks. We had a great time, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.